Welcome to this lecture on Sunday. I'm bowing down to Gurudev, feeling Gurudev being with us, feeling this pain of separation, that he isn't here, that we can't see him, but we have to feel him. Jayananda, welcome. I offer my obeisances. Tarun Baba, Udava, Suniti, my dear Suniti. Hello. Being grateful for all your support. Raseshwari, thank you for supporting me. So I take the honor to read this verse today. I've chosen verse 7 of Vilapa Kusumanjali. And I felt there was a tight connection to the lecture of Uddhava on Thursday. He spoke about verse 108 of Adi Leela, chapter 4 in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's going on. I'm learning about the bhakti approach is an approach of separation, of feeling this separation. So I will read the verse. O Swamini, my mistress Radhe, the heart of this maidservant constantly burns in a great fire of separation from you. Being thus afflicted and crying with great love, I lament in the following verses. I read it again. O Swamini, my mistress Radhe, the heart of this maidservant constantly burns in a great fire of separation from you. Being thus afflicted and crying with great love, I, Raghunath Das, lament in the following verses. Notes. In the first 3 verses, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami offered prayers in his spiritual identity. In the next 3 verses, he offered prayers in his external identity. And from this verse 7 on, he will offer one flower-like lamentation after the other to Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, absorbed in his spiritual identity of Rati, of Kusumanjali. This full transcendental absorption in Radha's maid-servanthood has now completely swallowed all his other absorptions. His absorption in this transcendental mood of being a maidservant has completely swallowed all his other absorptions. It has swallowed them. His external absorption is also not mundane, since he is an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. But he has now forgotten even his internal absorption. How wonderfully deep is his absorption in his pure service to Sri Radha. He has no other support than Sri Radha's feet. He has no other support than Sri Radha's feet. That is why his heart burns so much out of separation from her. Utkata Virahanula, a severe fire of separation. That he is feeling, a severe fire of separation, burning in his heart. He declares himself to be helpless and that he cannot live any more without submitting this to her, to Swamini. He only misses Sri Radharani. There is nothing else he misses. And then he only helplessly, simply laments, O Prema Mai, Radhe, you who are full of divine love, Swamini, where are you? I am your maidservant, and you are all that I long for. I only like Shyamasundara because he is your lover. I have fully surrendered myself unto you. Listen once to my lamentation, and please notice me. The more the time of Sri Raghunath's aprakata kala passing away approaches, the more he becomes absorbed in his Manjari Swarup, and the more eager he becomes to see and serve Sri Radha as a Maha Premavati Sevika, a greatly loving maidservant.
Radhe Radhe, Dhanyavad. Here, Baba quoting this very beautiful lines, imagining himself into the heart of Raghunathas Goswami. Where are you? I am your maidservant, and you are all that I long for. I only like Shyama Sundara because he's your lover. So with this, Baba is giving us a nutshell what Manjari Bhav means. So, like our beloved Gurudev always says that we only like Shyama Sundara because he is the lover of Swamini. So this is actually the heartbeat of the Manjari. This is Radhika Snehadika. It means we are fully on the side of Swamini. We love Krishna also, but not like the Visham Sneha who like Krishna more. We like Krishna because he is the one and only for Swamini. So this is very, very deep and very beautiful that Baba is quoting this here. And we can see that how much Baba and Gurudev are beating one heartbeat. They think the same, they feel the same. So I just wanted to mention this, that this is actually, I like Shyama Sundar only because he is the lover of Swamini. So this is the topmost Siddhanta of Manjari Bhav. Very beautiful from Baba.
The flames of this high fire of love and separation are bursting out from this Vilapa Kusumanjali. On the one hand, the heartbreaking cries and lamentations that are caused by this great pain of separation defeat the depth of even the deepest ocean. And on the other hand, they mock the fierceness of the highest and most fiercely burning flames. This unimaginable intensity, this expression of love for Srimati Radharani, for the intensity of the wish to be her beloved maidservant, unimaginable.
Radhe. Yes, this is very intense. And last week, I was meditating about the intensity of this feelings in separation. And Gurudev once said to me also, that can only come when we have had a meeting before. Otherwise, we are the second-hand feelers. We are feeling the feelings of Baba. Who is feeling the feelings of Raghunath Das Goswami? So that's like prasad, receiving prasad. There is one possibility how to feel more is by receiving prasad of feelings. Prasadi, mercy in the form of the feelings of those who have feelings. And on the other hand, we are listening these feelings, trying to feel them. That is also my own input, so to say. The one thing is my own input, my own endeavor, my own putting my mind and my heart in their mercy, energy, and the other thing, what is coming from them, their prasad and their mercy and their desire to help us.
Help us, yes.
And another thing I want to share is that many devotees who have come from backgrounds of difficult circumstances in life or families, we all had this before we met, maybe even in my case it was. Before we met the process of bhakti in our lives, and the mercy of the sadhus, there was always a strong desire to get out of the body, to go to another planet, or to receive some alternative to this world, to have something, which is out of this world, because there was in the soul a strong desire to experience something out of this world. Or to meet someone who has experiences out of this world. Because somehow in the soul there is a knowing that there is something beyond this material platform and beyond this kind of limited duality. And so I was just thinking that to know how it is to be out of the body is an experience for someone who has had experience like that. And I was just meditating about that, and I felt, yes, actually to be in Siddhadeha is an out-of-body experience. To be in my spiritual identity is an out-of-the-body experience. But, of course, at the same time, and we hear that Baba says this all the time, the more one is realized in that spiritual body identity and living there, it twangs through. He always is using these expressions. It twangs through. Someone who is always or more often in their spiritual identity, they can also share this experience with someone else. Plus, they have themselves so many experiences and so many feelings of that they are in constant separation. Because they have a realization of their spiritual existence. Whereas me, in my human experience, I have a longing to experience it or to serve those who are experiencing it. So that's quite a difference. But just to share, I wanted to express it. Because also now Baba is saying that his aprakala, the time for his passing, actually for a devotee there is no passing in a way. Because that is the time where they will live constantly with Swamini. It's just like, living where they really belong, where they are constantly experiencing spiritual existence, spiritual identity. And for us, like sadhakas who are, wishing this or desiring this, we are trying to develop the feelings of this and the connectivity to the subject to such a degree as to receive the prasad and the mercy and to go more and more in that identity, to grow into that identity. And then more feelings will come, and the feelings will be intense for someone who has already, experiences. Whereas for someone who has not so many experiences, the feelings will be maybe medium or small size, so to say.
Absolutely. But I also I learned that longing is a threshold. I wanted to fulfill. Till now, I felt longing as a lack. There's something missing, which has to be fulfilled. But because also of the help of Uddhava, I checked that longing is perhaps
we cannot hear you. Yeah, now we can.
That longing is the mean to loosen this tight connection between soul and body. Because, as Sudhiti said, there must something else, something beyond, not going on, but beyond. And longing is in longing we feel it, we get it, we check it. And yes, perhaps it's somewhat painful, but it will become bliss. And this bhakti approach is about longing, is about pain in separation.
I think you can even go one step further. Like Suniti said, that out of the body it may be, but also like she then went on to say, I was always thinking, how can people like Baba and even our beloved Gurudev, how can they reciprocate mundanely? How was your flight? How is your health? And all these things. At the same time, be completely and fully absorbed in meditating about the lotus feet of Swamini. But there is one pitfall that our mind is always falling into. So we see this from our own perspective. So like Suniti said, these people who are self-realized, we don't know a glimpse what is going on within their heart. So we know that when we progress through the stages of bhakti, the witches of fame, glory, mystic potencies, they come knocking on the door. So you can imagine that if one yogic ability is to be at the same place and in different at the same time at different places, this is just a yogic city, So we can try to understand and grasp it a little bit, that if the yogis can be in Germany and India at the same time, so what to speak of a self-realized soul? So he may talk to us. I speak for myself, I see Baba sitting there talking to me, mundane words, how was your flight? This is my conditioned mind, seeing him now talking to me. But first of all, we can never understand how deep, what is going on in their mind. He may, in one form, reciprocate with me and asking me about our flight to India. But at the same time, this is achintya. We cannot understand until we feel it also, until we realize that at the same time, he is performing his seva to the lotus feet of Swamini. For us, it's not possible. I speak to you now, and I don't see myself doing a seva to Swamini. I'm speaking now and sitting here in my house. I'm not able to do this, but self-realized souls, they can do that. So therefore, this is a very, very deep meaning, like Suniti just spoke. This only comes, Baba is saying, at the end of this paragraph, which Sudevi will read, this can only be known or felt or whatever by experienced devotees. So it will go on like that. But just as an understanding how this is working, they can self-realized souls who have understood their Siddha Deha, they have the ability to be with us and at the same time be fully with their Swamini. We don't understand how this is working, but it is like that, 100%.
Yeah, thank you. And what I also really appreciate, that their teachings is about poetry, about leelas, playfulness. So they are in the deepmost pain of separation, but speaking in really blissfully pictures in poetry. So it's also this very light path. Okay. Shall I go on? One may ask now how this kind of apparent agony can be recognized at the goal of life, since all goals of life are supposed to be blissful. It is natural that someone who has no experience with prema, with this love of God, especially with Vraja prema, will ask such a question. Although the feelings of separation from Krishna appear to be miserable, they are actually a special culmination of transcendental ecstasy. Prema has two bodies. One body is meeting, and prema has another body, and this is separation. Consequently, the loving devotees always swim in the ocean of very painful love in separation, as well as in the ocean of most blissful love in meeting. These feelings can never be compared to the ordinary feelings of joy and sorrow that are experienced in the material world. Only experienced devotees know this. There is a quotation for Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 2:51. Anyone who has this love in the heart knows its power. It is like a mixture of poison and nectar. As Gurudev said, like chutney. So hot that you can't eat it, and so sweet and tasteful that you can't avoid it to eat. Anyone who has this love in the heart knows its power. It is like a mixture of poison and nectar. And the heart of such a devotee is so strong to stand it, to hold it, to experience it in all its depth. Another quotation. It's from Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Although the heart of the loving devotee initially burns in the forest fire of apparent misery and of lamentation because of separation, still, this is in fact a joy that is even greater than the transcendental bliss of meeting Krishna. An indescribably beautiful abundance of ecstasy. Only the Rasika devotees, those who are able to taste the flavors of transcendental emotions, know this in truth. Srila Sanatana Goswami gives an example in his own commentary on this verse. Just as the feet and the other limbs, when they are touched by ice, which is just the opposite of fire, feel as if they are burnt by charcoal, and on the other hand, one feels great frigidity upon being touched by burning charcoal. Similarly, the apparent suffering from feelings of separation is actually not real. It is truly experienced as bliss only. can't discriminate when you are burnt by ice or by fire. It feels like the same. Body can't discriminate. Therefore, we always see so many feelings of love and separation for Krishna in the people of Vraj. Separation is making their love so elevated and great. Separation is making their love so elevated and great. They can relish that advanced stage of love. But not all devotees can reach that elevated level of blissful pain and separation of the Vrajavasis. Amongst the Vrajavasis, Sri Radha is again the greatest lover of Krishna. When Krishna had left Vraj to go to Mathura, Sri Radhika showed the symptoms of Divyanmada, of divine madness, the pinnacle of loving ecstasy. That was also later relished by Sriman Mahaprabhu, who accepted the ecstatic love of Sri Radhika while he was in the Gambhira at Puri. Of the 6 Goswamis, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was the only one who directly witnesses Mahaprabhu's astonishing Gambhira Lila, and therefore a faint presence of these symptoms of divine love and separation is also visible to him. Is visible in him. However, these things cannot be experienced as long as one identifies oneself with the material body. Srila Raghunath, suffering the pangs of separation from Sri Radha, cries and sighs on the bank of Radhakund. O Swamini, I cannot tolerate the pain of separation from you anymore. How clearly he reveals the tremendous pain of separation he feels in his heart by addressing Radharani like this. The language of the heart can only be spoken in solitude. It is the pinnacle of grief. How sweetly Raghunath Das addresses Radharani here, calling her Swamini. There is an absorption in intoxication in this address. There is not even a whiff of bodily awareness in Raghunath's mind. He is now Tulsi.
Radhe. Sorry, Sudevi. I think this sentence here, first of all, this is a very, very beautiful verse, and the first long part shows us how exalted these prayers of Raghunath Das Goswamis are. You know, I always find myself when I read this purport 7 and 8 and several like this, how high and how utterly advanced Raghunath Das Goswami is. And Baba is saying these things cannot be experienced as long as one identifies with the material body. So Baba is here saying in the same way, as long as you don't know and as you don't have information of your spiritual body, it will always be what you said to Devi. It will always be that longing, 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 longing. So then Baba here says, the language of the heart can only be spoken in solitude. So this is not just a sentence. This is a very, very, very deep sentence. And at least little Tarun Baba, I feel that the language of the heart means what Baba is saying to us here is that spiritual life at the utmost level and utmost core is very, very private and intimate. So here we see that actually the language of the heart can only be spoken in solitude. It is a very, very private affair and very, very intimate affair. And this should be done only with like-minded and people who are in the same mood. But you can see in the example of Raghunath Das Goswami, to whom has he spoken? So again, we see this high, very high limit of bhakti that at the end of his life, he hardly spoke to anyone. And then he wrote down his swan song, Vilapa Kusumanjali. But for me, this also means that, some things are not to be addressed in public. Some things are meant to be private and some things meant to be very intimate. So therefore, this is such a treasure to read Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi and Vilapa Kusumanjali. But we also should be aware that those are actually very, very intimate and very, very private feelings which come up. This is how I understand this line. This Baba is not saying this just to say it, but this in solitude means that bhajan is usually done in very private circumstances with you and your Gurudev and then Guru Manjari. So I find this sentence very, very peculiar and special, I have to say. Thank you.
The aspirant devotees should also fix themselves on their Svarup Avesh. For no one can get a response from Swamini without being totally free from Maya. As soon as the mind wanders off elsewhere, it is as if Swamini runs away, saying, "First become mine. When you fully surrender yourself to me, you must stick to me like my shadow, and then you will get my response." Srila Raghunath becomes overwhelmed while he is crying, and he reveals his heartache through these verses. "O Swamini, I don't have anyone else but you in this world. With whom else should I stay? I cannot carry the burden of life anymore without seeing you and serving you." In this way, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was in the same condition as Mahaprabhu when he wept. "Without seeing you, these days and nights are miserable, and this time cannot be passed." Because of his suffering of separation, Srila Raghunath himself writes, "Kapi Dasi, I am your fallen maidservant. That is why my heart is burning in want of your personal service." Kapi Dasi. The mood of the maidservants is identical with Radharani's mood. The mood of the maidservant is identical with Radharani's mood. Just as Radhika is the personification of full Mahabhav, so her maidservants are the personification of Seva Rasa, of this very flavor of service. Their svarupas, their intrinsic conditions, are made of this service flavor. No one understands Radha Krishna's wishes as well as they do, as these maidservants do. That is why they suffer so much when they are deprived of their devotional service. Because they understand the wishes of Radha Krishna's. And when they are not there, these wishes can't be fulfilled. That is their suffering. No one else is as qualified to understand, to catch experience of what are Swaminiji's innermost feelings but them, these maidservants. Not even Swamini's own girlfriends, the Sakis. One day, Swamini is angry with Shyam, and Krishna comes to her kunj, dressed as a girl, trying to please her. But Swamini gives a hint to Tulsi to kick him off the kunj. I will not look at this cheater anymore. I will keep the wells of my honor. Subala's friend. He has entered my kunj disguised as a girl. Stop him. Oh, Radhe, when can I, after hearing these anxious words of yours, stop the best of cowherds from entering? Tulsi then tells Krishna, "Oh, Rav, there are no demons here that you can delude in this enchanting dress like Mohini. We are Radhika Kinkaris. We can understand all your tricks. Realize your own deceitfulness. Realize your own deceitfulness and get out of the kunj."
Radhe Radhe. So here we see what Baba is doing. He is giving us this insight into the Leelas. So like Suniti before said, without the mercy and the kripa and the prasadam of the great saints, this longing of us, it will go on and on. But here, after speaking so high, Baba is speaking so high, but now he gives us the solution, how we can come to that unimaginable platform of devotional service, namely by listening to these very, very sweet and intimate pastimes. This is the only way. This is the only way. This is the only way. Therefore, he is always like, baking a cake. You have to have a special filling in the cake. So he is always putting this in all of his purports, no matter which book you read. So, of course, the longing is very high and it's very difficult for us to get. But here again, like you so wonderfully read now, Sudevi, this is the sum and substance of our smaran. We chant the holy name, we do the japa, and we should fill our minds every morning. When you do your japa, read something. Read this paragraph and then chant and meditate on how they chastise Krishna and how they interact with each other. So this is the only reason why Baba is giving us these interceptions, like now Utkalika Valerie, that we hear what they talk about, how humorous they are, how condescending, oh rogue, No one can say to Krishna like this, rogue means rascal, thief, something like that, cheater. So this is this sweetness which we need in our daily life, because the material nature is everything else but sweet, and this is the medicine. This is what the Bhagavatam is saying. We should always hear these wonderful pastimes, and then what Baba is saying, then this will come, that we will be more and more in the scale of a spiritual consciousness instead of being filled with material consciousness. We can read philosophy every day for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. It will never have the same effect like if we read the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas. So therefore, I'm so thankful to Baba and to Gurudev that he is always saying, this is the point, this is the Leelas. We should meditate about these Leelas.
Yes, and that is by sweetness, by loveliness. I like it so much. So this intense burning fire, and we are learning by sweetness, not by punishing ourselves, by sweetness, by playing. I repeat the last sentence. Tulsi then tells Krishna, "O rascal, there are no demons here that you can delude in this enchanting dress like Mohini. We are Radha's kinkaris. We can understand all your tricks. Realize your own deceitfulness and get out of this kunj." Quotation from Narottam Das Thakur. "I will understand all my duties simply on their hints." Even Krishna could not understand Radhika's innermost feelings. That is exactly why he became Gaura. His 3 wishes in this direction were unfulfilled. That is why Shyamasundara became Gaura. A greed arose in him to understand the greatness of the love of his Priyasis, his beloved. So he relished it with the help of her mood and of her complexion. You cannot know how heavy a weight is just by looking at it. You have to take it on your shoulders. When Krishna understood the weight of his Priyayi's love, he ended up in a severe condition in Gaura Lila. Blood oozed from the pores of his skin, and his teeth loosened. Sometimes his body was emaciated, and sometimes it bloomed, it blew up. He did not even get a moment of sleep within the Gambhira cell. He rubbed his face against the wall and became completely bruised. This was his severe condition in Gaura Lila. The Lord's body was filled with ecstatic transformations that were unheard of. All the joints of his fingers and toes were disconnected. Only his skin stayed in its place. They were only held together by the skin. Sometimes again, the Lord's hand, his feet, and head withdrew into his trunk, and he looked just like a tortoise. This was a condition of the Supreme Lord. The full non-dual truth when he went to realize Radha's ecstatic love for him. However, the Kinkaris understand everything naturally. They can understand what Swamini needs during her pastimes with Krishna, and they know what pastimes will be played. So they go ahead of the divine couple and decorate the kunj accordingly before they get there. The manjaris make a bed for only one person to lie on with one pillow. They know by experience what pastimes will be performed. The Sakis know that the Kinkaris have entrance into this intimate pastimes. They, the Sakis, also engage the Kinkaris accordingly. Receiving the order from Lalita, I will blissfully go to do my service along with my dearest girlfriends. The mood of the maidservant is identical with Mahabhav. The mood of the maidservant is identical with Mahabhav. Sri Radharani consists of Mahabhav. She is the very Chintamani jewel that fulfills all of Krishna's desire. Sri Radharani consists of Mahabhav. Sri Radharani, she is the very Chintamani jewel that fulfills all of Krishna's desires. This Mahabhav is the quintessence of the Chintamani gem of love of God. And it serves to fulfill all of Krishna's desires. The maidservants are like the Chintamani stones that fulfill the desires of both the couple. Therefore, Krishna pitifully prays to them for Radharani's indescribable mercy. O beautiful daughter of King
Radhe, there's so much nectar, Sudevi. We have to turn the nectar a little bit. I feel this so beautiful. How Baba is giving us an infusion of the beautiful feelings of Srimati Radhika and her dasis. And I was just meditating how we pray to the Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. So this is like the confirmation here, or the expression of this. What is a Chintamani jewel? It's a wish-fulfilling jewel, or like in our prayers to the Vaishnavas, wish-fulfilling trees that are able to feel the desires of others. So Srimati Radhika knows all and fulfills all of Krishna's desires because they are one, right? And that's her service. And in the same way also, the maidservants, they don't only fulfill Radhika's, all of her desires, but also Mohan's desires, because they are one with Srimati Radhika, so they will also know the desires of Mohan in that way, that they want to combine them all the time and help them to engage in their beautiful Madhurya Leelas. So this is very beautiful. Because I was thinking maybe Baba would say the maidservants are like wish-fulfilling gems that fulfill the desires of Srimati Radhika. But here he writes, they are fulfilling desires of both of them. So that is also very sweet and very opening. And sometimes we are afraid to think of the desires of not, only of Srimati Radhika, but no, Mohan's desires are to please Srimati Radhika. So also in this way, the Dasis are helping, and they are in that way transcendentally endowed. They are blessed, and they have this ability to read the hearts and the minds and all the desires of Radha Mohan. So much so that they decorate the Kunst accordingly. They know the moods. They are, already in advance feeling the moods. And so they put a pillow, only one pillow. And like this, they do the telepathic seva that they have received from the divine couple, from Radharani, and of course also to make her beloved happy, because that's what Srimati Radhika is consisting of. She is the transcendental gem of fulfilling all the desires of Mohan. And of course also she will fulfill the desires of the Dasis, who have the desire to fill all of her desires. So that's what we have always heard, how the spiritual realm is so special. Because in this realm here, often we are conditioned with the desire to fulfill my own desires first. But in that divine realm of transcendental games or exchanges, it is about fulfilling the desire of the others, fulfilling the desires of Srimati Radhika, of Mohan, and the desires, of course, they are fulfilling also all the desires of the Brajbasis, because they are also in loving exchanges according to their mood. So this is wonderful, how Srimati Radhika is the quintessence, the sonum bonum, as our Gurudev often lovingly says, of all the wish-fulfilling capability. And this is transferred, or it also finds expression in the girls that are serving her maidservants. And only then, we have always read lately also in Prema Bhakti Chandrika, that, and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are many quotes that how Krishna, he is not attracted to anything which is not essentially divine love, transcendental love. So when this transcendental love is multiplied, or let's say coming to such a extent of, condensed love, then Krishna can pitifully pray. He becomes the subdued by love. That's only possible when this kind of intention is there. Nothing about fulfilling my own desires. Actually, there is so much oneness that there is no more separate desire. And that is what we are also trying to practice here in this world. We're trying to practice it with our Gurudev, with our Vaishnavas, how to fulfill each other's desires and how to make the feelings grow, feelings in such a way that we are there for each other and that we are transcendental. We aspire to become transcendental, wish-fulfilling trees. And that is, I feel, one of the most challenging, transformations. Because
and a beautiful one, and really a beautiful one.
Yes, of course it is beautiful, but
and attractive.
It is very attractive. Can you imagine if we only meet and we always say, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? But not out of a feeling of burden, but out of a feeling of love. And also to meet with love, to meet and exchange with this love that here, oh my God, I'm not the doer. I just want to receive all of the devotees' beautiful feelings and expressions of their desire to serve, which is again fueling my desire to serve. This is always the beauty, and I love this so much when Baba is explaining this mood, how the maidservants are identical with Srimati Radhika, how Srimati Radhika is the personification of Mohan's desires and happiness. So it is very, very attractive. But actually, I must say, it is more attractive for me if I hear it from you, or I can listen to it and then maybe repeat it just in my own words. That is the way how we learn that it will stick in our hearts. That's what we are practicing. Hey, where's our Jayananda Maharaj? He's not sharing, he's not giving any prasad today. He's a very miser.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes, yes.
So you explained so nicely this Chintamani jewel. And I feel this is what Mahaprabhu want to give us, Chintamani jewel. This called Unnato Ujjwala. So we know, and Srimad Bhagavatam, they described, Krishna saying, Krishna is during Rasalila, and Krishna searching one lady, Gopi. So this is topmost Gopi, who Krishna loves most. But Shukadeva could not explain her name because too confidential, and also if speak name of Radhika, then he start too much in ecstasy and crying, and he could not speak Bhagavatam anymore. So, and then Acharya said, this is Srimati Radharani. But really, in the Bhagavatam, we don't know so much about Srimati Radhika. And then Radhika's nature, actually Radhika's feeling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give us, especially in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gurudev explained Adilila, 4th chapter. So in this chapter describes Radhika's glory, and Radhika is fulfill all desire of Mohan. But who can fulfill all desire of Radhika and Radhika's Mohan? This is a missing point. But this Baba explained, this Manjari, Kinkari could fulfill all Radhika's desire, and not only Radhika, you also explain, but also Mohan, Radha's Mohan. So this is the beauty of Manjari. So this Manjari is such an important seva. Radha and Mohan need Manjari's help. Without Manjari's help, their intimate pastime, especially Nikunja pastime, could not be complete. So in this sentence, I was also very impressed. This Mahabhava is the quintessence of Chintamani of love of Godhead and serves to fulfill all of Krishna's desire. And then the maid servants are like the Chintamani stone that fulfill the desire of both the divine couple. So this sentence, Baba explained the essence of Manjari Baba and how Manjari is important. Also, Mahaprabhu's mission to disclose this quintessence. So Suniti, thank you very much. I just could add a little bit. Radha.
Anai, what's about you? Some nectar, please.
And today also we are reading Manjari serving one bed and one pillow. And then Krishna, during the Leela, Krishna extend her left arms and Radhika make Mohan's arm like pillows.
Ah.
Then Mohan's right side, and then Swamini is Mohan's left side. Yeah, and then also in bed is jasmine flower bed, white jasmine bed. So we are a little bit discussing why Radhika's left side of the Mohan. And then some devotees say, yeah, because you say left.
We thought about that this is the heart side, no? So
Yeah, heart side. Left side is heart side of Mohan. And also, this is original position of Radhika. And also we are discussing, so Manjari put white, very soft jasmine petals. So why jasmine? And also we little bit discussing because jasmine is one of the softest and one of so nicely fragrant. Also Radhika wear his hair. He likes to put jasmine flower on the head. And also, sometimes Radhika's skin was so soft, more soft than this flower petals. Yeah. Then also we are discussing like a white jasmine bed is like a canvas. So they are play in the raga, and in this bed so many color is described. So much kunkuma, also musk and chandan, and also different kind of flower. So all this pastime is appear in this Baba's writing. This also very much amazing. So we just put a little bit sharing in this morning class.
Thank you so much for this games.
Yes, thank you. I want to add also what you inspire me to share, that the feeling how actually Raghunath Das Goswami is giving his heart, his feelings in like 2-3 sentences, but Baba, he is giving his heart and his feelings in 2-3 pages to that. That is so, and this one is actually 5 pages, 6. And even that's why Gurudev says we should go slowly, because in a way, you know, each of the sentences, they have again the capacity to fill my heart with another hundreds of feelings if I go deeply. Like Jayananda Maharaj was so sweetly explaining to us, why only one bed, one pillow? Yeah, there is an extension of Krishna's left arm. You know, we can meditate on this. We can meditate. Or I was thinking, yes, maybe Radhika will become the blanket for Mohan. There is so much, you know, there's so much to meditate. And why the flowers are so soft. You know, how is it possible? And all of this, these are details that are yet, you know, coming to open up in our meditations. And that is the mercy. That is the Kripa Siddha that Narayan Maharaj was also opening up to Gurudev. The books are the Kripa. They are the Kripa because in these, and I think also in former times, I listened often that Shukadev Goswami is like a parrot. He just cut a little bit open, and like you were explaining so nicely, he gave something, but he could not go further because he was too overwhelmed. He had to be, you know, he had only a certain time. But somehow here in this paragraphs, it seems to be we are living now in eternal time. And eternal time is not limited. And Baba is showing this to us, and Gurudev is showing this to us, how living in eternal time is unlimited. So if we go deep, then there will be unlimited things to meditate, deeper and deeper and deeper, and to share this depth of unlimited experiences of the beauty of Radha and Mohan's service. So thank you. Thank you.
And also, sorry, and also actually this 7th verse is real starting verse, because first 3 verse and the second 3 verse is Mangalacharan. In Vaishnava literature, they are supposed to write glory of a Gurudev or Parampara or Ishtadeva at first. So Raghunath's first 3 verse as a Swarpa Besh, he glories his Guru Manjari and also Ishtadevi, and also Swarpa and also Sadhaka Besh, he tried to glorify his Gurudev, etc. So this 7th verse actually real first verse of Vilapa Kusumanjali, my understanding. So therefore Baba, especially in this verse, so concentrate, so explain nicely what's the meaning of Vilapa Kusumanjali, what's the service of Manjari, what's the glory of Manjari. So this 7th verse, so this verse, you know, someone who select this verse is wonderful. You know, maybe Sudevi, I don't, you know, Sudevi. So you are very, very, you know, so intense and so nice verse in this verse. So thank you very much.
I will go on. There's a quotation from Radharasa Sudhamnidhi. It is the verse 94. O beautiful daughter of King Vrishabhanu, Vrindavan's transcendental Cupid, Krishna, always flatters your maidservants in so many ways, desiring the festival of your indescribable mercy. In the same way, Radharani takes also shelter of the Kinkaris, who are non-different from her in heart when she desires to meet Krishna. Within their minds, Sri Radha Madhava praise the wonderful expertise of those kinkaris in their service. One day, during the Rasa dance, Krishna plays his flute and Swaminiji dances when one of her ankle bells falls off. The jingling of those ankle bells enhances the beauty of Krishna's flute song. But now Krishna misses their support. Shyam exposes the sweetness of his own dancing while he places the ankle bells back on Radha's ankles without being seen by others. He thinks, I have not been able to serve Radhika as deeply affectionately as her kinkaris do. I think there is a question and a mistake in these sentences. I try it again. Shyam exposes the sweetness of his own dancing, while should not be the kinkaris places the ankle bells back to Radhika's ankles without being seen by others. And then Shyam thinks to himself, I have not been able to serve Radhika as deeply affectionately as your kinkaris do. This is a discreet service of the kinkaris.
It's as if he just says, I have not been doing it as deeply affectionately, but he did it without being seen by others. It's not about doing it, it's about how affectionate doing it. It's definitely him putting it back.
And I thought he is as dancing and wherein the kinkaris are putting them these ankle bells back, not be seen by anyone. Okay. Don't know. He only did this to experience the sweet feelings of the kinkaris. Yes, I think you're right, Mahan. Therefore, after relishing the sweetness of Radhika's love, Sriman Mahaprabhu, the old emotional decisions of God, who is filled with all the different devotional moods, also developed the desire to taste the sweetness of the Manjari's service after relishing the sweetness of Radha's rasa. I read this.
Sad. Actually, here it is said what Gurudev very often says, that Sriman Mahaprabhu is not only Radha and Krishna, it's also the kinkaris. And actually it's written here, therefore after relishing the sweetness of Radha's love, Sriman Mahaprabhu, the all-emotional descension of God, who is filled with all the different devotional moods, also developed the desire to taste the sweetness of the Manjari service after relishing the sweetness of Radha's ras.
Nice. Thank you for repeating this important sentence.
So actually, Gurudev would show us how Chaitanya Charitamrita, this actually Srila Ananda Gopal Goswami mentioned. At first, let it sing the sweetness of Radhika's rasa, and then next, he tastes the sweetness of the Manjari service, Manjari Baba. So this is, if we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, but this point, it is not easy to catch in this point. Only Rashka Vaishnava, like Gurudev or like Anantasvaj Maharaj, etc., they can catch, they can show us where's Manjari Baba inside in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is actually amazing. So we just need help of Rashka Vaishnava. So this is a very, very important point, I feel. Maybe Tarun Baba, you could share, you know more.
About what? About what?
You know, this is like sweetness of Manjari Seva in Mahaprabhu's Leela or Mahaprabhu's pastime. So
Sure.
this is a very important point, right?
Yes, for sure. Both are. You can see here the unity of all the parivas. There is no competition in all the parivas because ultimately all the parivas know that Manjari Bhav is the highest Bhav. So here we clearly see this last paragraph is written down not by my Gurudev. So we give credit to Sri Ananda Gopal Goswami who wrote this down. And you can see Baba incorporated the footnote in his edition. And why did Baba do it? Because it's unison. It is one feeling. It is one Bhav. It is Manjari Bhav. So here also Ananda Gopal Goswami, he wonderfully explains that what Mahaprabhu came to give. And like you said before, it is wonderful to see how Baba and Ananda Gopal Goswami, the whole Vilapa Kusumanjali is based on Ananda Gopal Goswami's lectures and my Gurudev's explanations. So it's a teamwork, you can say. And then you can see that how wonderfully everything is woven together. When you see this one sentence, Krishna could not understand the glories of Radhika's love. Therefore, he has to appear as Mahaprabhu. And then Baba goes on to say, step by step, like a roter father, like a red thread. You know, he's saying, okay, Krishna cannot understand glories of Radhika's love, so he has to come as Gauranga. Why? And why has he take on then the mood of the maidservants? Why has Mahaprabhu come to give Manjari Bhav? Because Baba says way up, only the Manjaris are qualified to understand the love of Radhika and what is there to be done. My Gurudev, my Param Gurudev, Shri Kunja Biharidas Babaji Maharaj, he writes that the whole existence of the Manjari is there to serve the divine couple, in preference to Srimati Radhika, but definitely, like Sunidhi also said, also to serve Mohanji and to please Mohanji. So there is never a question to be, fanatic in Manjari Bhav is as stupid as fanatic in religion. So the Manjaris are there to serve the divine couple as Radha, Snehadika, Kingaris. But the aim and the glory of them is to serve both. So here wonderfully both Ananda Gopal Goswami and my Gurudev are saying the only way that Mahaprabhu can experience the greatness, he is talking about these three wishes. So the only way Mahaprabhu can experience these three wishes are to take on the mood of Swamini. And how can you do this? By practicing Manjari Bhav, because nobody is as close to Swamini as the Manjaris. So I feel this is a dream team at work. So there are so many pastimes given by my Gurudev, by Ananda Gopal Goswami, even by the son of Ananda Gopal Goswami, Nikunja Gopal Goswami, the Gurudev of Advaita who translated it. So we can see here that actually all these frictions and all this separatism is just bogus and it's just imaginary, because all the parivars of Mahaprabhu, they know there's only one goal, and this is Manjari Bhav. For me, this is so wonderful to see, because now Baba is allowing Advaita Parivar Tika in his own commentary, because it is the same mood. So I personally find this glorious.
Jai Ho. I feel the same thing, you know. So I talked with Mahanidhi Baba in Radhakunda. He also says same thing. We are, you know, so we may be different Baba, like a different Parivar, but the same goal, same mood to, you know, how to serve.
So what I talked also with this to Advaita Ji. I know him for a very, very long time. He says, you know, the sadhana may be different. So we have to adhere to that, what our Gurudev gives us. So some parivars, they have their way of sadhana bhakti, Raganuga sadhana bhakti, Manjari Bhav sadhana bhakti, and some have their way. So, but we are always sticking, and Baba will come to this point anyway later about Gurudev. So the words, Shri Guru Mukha Padma, this is the words of Gurudev, who is showing us the way. He is the navigator, but the overall picture is that all parivars of Mahaprabhu, they teach Manjari Bhav. Now, how they teach may be different in little details, but this is not our concern. Our concern is Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. What our Gurudev is saying to us, we should follow. And if we go like that, no plane can crash. You know, there will be no crash, there will be no accident, and there will be no like this. We just do what Gurudev is saying, knowing the true goal, and this will lead to happiness.
Thank you.
I like that you say they are a dream team. This is dream team. So, how wonderful is Sri Raghunatha's pure absorption in Radhika's service. He says, Vilapini Kapidasi, I know as your maidservant, your real maidservant, and my life burns in the fire of separation from you. We also do bhajan in allegiance to the acharyas. Therefore, we must also somehow attain this condition. I may be unqualified, but he who has offered me to your lotus feet for your maid service is your qualified maidservant. Why will you not accept someone who is given to him? When merciful Sri Gurudev offers me to your lotus feet, you have to accept me.
That's a good one.
Should I read this again? I think it was a bit complicated.
No, it's sweet.
Yes. I may be unqualified, but he who has offered me to your lotus feet of your maid service is your qualified maidservant. Why will you not accept someone who is given to him? When merciful Sri Gurudev offers me to your lotus feet, you have to accept me. The scriptures prove that the Guru is a form of Krishna. Krishna bestows his grace on the devotees in the form of the Guru. This is another way of gift of your lover. Can you refuse it? Srimati Dasa Goswami Pad's example of Radha Nishta is to be followed by the surrendered Rasika Bhagavatas. Bodily consciousness destroys the life of a person like me. Don't place your faith in the material body, for when it dies, it is punishable by Yama Maharaj. The cause of karma is only an ocean of misery. In deep Svarupa Vesh, Shripad, whose only life is Radha Dasya, says, the fire of separation caused by not seeing you is greatly scorching my heart. I have become very upset from loudly crying. In this way, he reveals that he is burning of anguish inside out. Sri Raghunath pitifully prays, "Ha, Swamini, you are playing in the forest around Radhakund. This Kunda is your favorite place in Vraj. There is no more beautiful place for you. And your Priyatama, there is no more beautiful place for you and your Priyatama to play than on this. But I'm so unfortunate that I cannot see you, although I'm living in this forest around your Kunda." Srila Raghunath's mind is startled by seeing the natural body and sweetness of Priyachi's form and qualities, and by seeing the natural beauty of Radha Kund. And he cannot live, and he cannot live anymore without directly seeing her. His life ends reach his throat because of the separation. So he falls on the bank of Radhakund and he laments, "When will I serve Sri Radha, whose complexion rebukes the splendor of molten gold, who is a smiling girl in her puberty, who is beautifully dressed in glossy and red silken sari, whose braid is as beautiful as the tail of a blissful dancing peacock, and who blissfully casts sidelong glances at Mukunda." Sometimes he says, although the Govinda bee very much loves to drink the honey of love that oozes from the beautiful lotus face of the gopis, he suddenly leaves them and wanders here and there over the pathways, searching for the best of wish-yielding wine of Vrindavan, being attracted to the super excellent fragrance of her blissful body. When will I worship that Radha? And sometimes he again laments, saying, "When can I serve Sri Radha, who smiles and engages her Sakis with a festival of sidelong glances in ridiculing Madhava, the teacher of all artful plays, who is otherwise very proud of his skill in playing, after defeating him in a game of dice on a bed of lovely soft jasmine petals in a kunja kuchia on the bank of your beautiful Kund. In this mood, Sri Raghunath laments in hundreds of different ways for the service and the audience of his mistress, Vilapa Kapidasi. You are the honeybees. Nectar you want. Well, I'm going on.
I heartily recommend everyone read this Utkanda Dasakam. I think I put it on my blog. So those are wonderful, wonderful 10 verses of Raghunath Das Goswami's Yearning. I think I have it. I can maybe find it and put the link in the Viber group. So these 10 prayers are really, really wonderful. Every one of these verses is like a yearning. I think Utkanda Dasakam means yearning. So those are maybe my favorite prayers of Raghunath Das Goswami, because in each prayer he gives an example of a seva or a lila, and always he ends with this. You will see. He always ends with the question, "When can I serve?" So these are very beautiful prayers. I think it's either in Stavavali 3 or 4, which are not published yet, but maybe published in the future. So this is a great, great, great prayer. Wonderful.
Oh, Tarun, thank you for your seva for this.
And yes, Radhe, I just got the order that Gouda would like to know if this book is available or if it can be printed as a book. Utkanta Dashakam.
This is not a book. This is just a little part of a book. There's 10 prayers. I may have a PDF of it, but I definitely have them on my blog, so he can read it nicely on the internet. It will be published in the when I publish one more Stavavali 3 or 4, it will be there. But I'm looking now on my smartphone. I think I have all 10 verses on the blog, and I can put it in the Radha Dasyam group.
Thank you.
Please. Nice seva. Anticipating our wishes. Perhaps I should read again this verse and we will be silent in meditating on it. What do you think?
I honestly think 2 hours is quite a lot. So the verse is going on more for my personal absorption capacity. You can go on, but for me personally, it's enough. We have now 2 hours. So if you want to continue, fine. But
no, I'm also really tired.
It's a lot to meditate. So
Yes.
so I would say continue with the other half next Sunday. But this is just my humble suggestion. I'm not big boss here, so you decide. But my capacity to get these things in is okay for now.
Me too. I'm filled up.
Also, for the German devotees, I spoke with Gurudev this morning, and he requested me after we talked about. So I will start giving, basic elements, basic essential truth of Raganuga Bhakti. I will start on Tuesday. I will put the link. I will make a Zoom meeting and put the link in the Radha Dasyam group. Govinda Priya will put it in the WhatsApp group. So it will be in German. I will speak Deutsch. So if they want to translate, you have to tell me how this is working. So I will set up a Zoom meeting. I already did it. And I will put the link in the Viber group. Gurudev said I should do it. So now I cannot hide any longer. I will do it. I will see if I can do it every week. That would be nice. But teachers' schedule may be different. But I checked out. Tuesday is for me the best day. because I will not be home late. I will be home at like 2:00, not like 4:30. So Tuesday is a good day. So I will always announce in advance if it's happening. So I will put it after this class. I will put the link for the Zoom, what is it called, meeting in the Radha Dasyam group. So
Time will it start? European time?
6:00 European time.
Indian time?
Later. I cannot go after Indian time. I'm very sorry, because many Western people, they are working till 5:00. I was thinking 5:00, but 5:00 is still early for a lot of people. So I will go on 6:00 and 6:00 until 7:00, and then questions and answers. So 1 hour is fixed, and then talk about like maybe 20 minutes.
Super.
Thank you, Tarun Baba.
Jai Ho.
Thank
I will try. It's not easy with a full time, but I will try to do it as often as I can. And I will start with a very basic thing. I will start with what is Raganuga Bhakti, and then continue with different subject matters. So Gurudev told me to do this because it's important to have a foundation. So I will comply and make him. He said I should. It will make him happy. So I will try my best. Thank you.
Tarun, thank you for this seva. Could you put it also in SoundCloud? Then I could listen it later on. Because
Maybe someone else.
This is very comfortable as Uddhava does it. So this is very comfortable.
I already did a meeting for Zoom, so maybe someone can record it and put it in the SoundCloud. Let me see if I can do it. I'm not sure. I'm not super technically advised.
Perhaps Uddhava could help us. I hope it would be also easy for you.
Yeah, but I would like to do it as a Zoom meeting, and then the Zoom meeting, I think, should be recorded, and that would be put in the SoundCloud. Maybe.
Yes, so that's okay. Like Uddhava does it. So
okay.
I'm doing my yoga because I can't join in. So
yeah. Okay. I will try to figure it out somehow or not, or YouTube or something like that. I have to check out where is it downloaded. If I record the Zoom meeting, where does it download? Where does it upload the recording? Does it in the cloud? So I will figure this thing out. So, yeah, let's see.
So I will repeat this verse. O Swamini, O my mistress Radhe, the heart of this maidservant constantly burns in a great fire of separation from you. Being thus afflicted and crying with great love, I lament in the following verses. Embracing you all. Thank you.